but fail to do the things that's impossible. So when I'm expecting the Savior to do something impossible, I don't get so amazed at what he does. Why? Because I'm living in expectation that he's going to do the impossible. But can I give you your shout cue? It's not that the miracle was that he was walking on water, but the miracle was what he allowed Peter to do. It's that let's bow for a word of prayer. God, we thank you for your grace.
Yes, Lord.
We thank you for the total sufficiency of your Son and our Savior. God, we ask that you speak a word in this place.
Yes, Lord.
That souls will be set free. Minds will be delivered. And God, we'll be so ever careful to give you all the praise, the glory, and the honor. This is your humble servant's prayer. It's in Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen. If you have your Bibles or a copy of the Word of God, turn with me to Matthew, the 14th chapter. Matthew, the 14th chapter, verse 28 and 29. I wrestled this week. I said, God, why am I revisiting this text? I preached it already. I said, the revelation that you gave me was that Peter began to sink, but he did not drown. I said, God, we already talked about that already. He said, no, there's something else that the young people need to hear, but also the older people needs to eavesdrop on. And then as God began to arrest my attention, I understood. I'm going to read from the New Living Translation, and it reads on this wise, Matthew 14, chapter, verse 28, 29, which you got to say, I've got it. If you don't have it, just look on the screen. Amen. Matthew 14, chapter, verse 28, 29, it says something like this. It says, then Peter called to him, Lord, if it's really you, tell me to come walking on the water. This is what Jesus said. Yes, come. Jesus said. So Peter went over the side of the boat and walked on the water towards Jesus. Can you look at your neighbor and give him my sermon topic and say, neighbor, the gospel according to the three little pigs. Amen. Somebody say the gospel according to the three little pigs. Can you look at your neighbor behind you and say, hashtag, you gotta level up. Amen. Come on, let's give God some praise in this building. Amen. The gospel according to the three little pigs. Hashtag, you gotta level up. As the world turns, Lazarus, the world changes. If you don't keep up, you'll find yourself left behind because time waits for nobody. The terminology level up. Ron in the Urban Dictionaries defined Reverend Ezra as moving in your life in an upward position. Or moving up in your career. Or better yet, for no uncertain terms, is just getting things better than what it was. Sister Parker, the truth of the matter is we say things like the phraseology that I'm trying to level up. But it seems as if our leveling up does not add up to our actions. Yeah, we love the phrase level up, but when we look at our life through retrospect, we're still on the same playing field that we were when we first started. How do you know this? Because the first of the year, we all have New Year's resolutions. And In Time Fitness emailed me and said, this is the most busiest month of our whole year, which is in January. Books is overflowing. But by February, it looks like a ghost town. And as I began to do my research lately, that I found out that there's 3 documented reasons why people don't level up. The reason people don't level up, Dr. Scott, is because, number one, of comfortability.
Well.
The second one is not having a plan for where you want to go. Lastly, lest I keep you too long, the opinion of others overpowers your ability to make decisions for yourself.
My God.
What the enemy will do in your life when you're trying to level up is try to place things in your face to discourage you from leveling up. Why do you ask this? Because when in fact you level up, it's counterproductive, Brother Walker, to what he's trying to do in our lives. There it is. The enemy knows that when a child of God is leveling up, there's three things that a child of God is fully equipped with. There it is. Watch this. I want you to take this to school on Monday. And when you go to your lockers, I want you to know these three things. The three things is when a child of God levels up, this is what they do. They know their identity. They know their purpose. The most important part, they know their value. Child of God knows their identity, their purpose, and also their value. But can I give you something that you can shout about all of fall of 2019? Is that because the times that you tried to level up, you failed. But watch this, you still didn't give up. Do I have anybody in this building today that can say, I tried to level up in February, I tried to level up in March, but it did not go well? Y'all not talking back to me. My credit score did not allow me to get the house that I wanted to get, did not allow me to get the car that I wanted to get. But can I share something with you? I did not give up. What I understand through study, I found out, for anybody else that loves football, if you're not a Dallas Cowboys fan, I'm going to pray for you at the end of service. But studies have showed that a running back's life, watch this, if he has ran 370 yards or carried more carries in a regular season, usually suffers from either a major injury or he loses effectiveness the following year. It is a well-known fact that the running back career is short-lived. You got to realize I played tailback when I was growing up. Every time I got on the field, they say, get your tail back. So a running back's life is short-lived. And as of recently, best team in the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott. He told the owner, Jerry Jones, I'm not practicing nor am I playing until we revisit my contract. Elliott missed out on the preseason games. He did not go to any of the team practices. Why? Because he understood that if I don't stand for something, they'll just give me anything. But when I know what I bring to the table, you won't be able to throw anything in my face and expect me just to accept it. Y'all not talking back to me. So most people begin to talk bad about Zeke. Ezekiel Elliott wasn't being greedy. He plays for a team that's worth $5 billion. Deacon Janice realized what he brought to the table. And he knew his value. You got to understand this. What he brought to the table and his value brings increase to the team itself as a large. So when Zeke said, he looked at the owner, he said, I need an increase. Allow me to suggest this to you here. When they can't accept your value and they don't recognize the presence of your value, make sure they appreciate your absence. Y'all didn't miss that. Let me come back again. When they don't appreciate, when they cannot see the value of your presence, make them appreciate the value of your absence. Is there anybody in this building that would say that I know my value? Why? Because I know my identity. What I've discovered in reading the report, as a result, Zeke was knowing his value. He sat down with the owner, and the owner saw the value that he brought to the table, not because he ran the yards that he ran last year, not because he scored 28 touchdowns, but he noticed in his absence that I really needed him on my team. When they sat down to renegotiate his contract, this is what happened. He came back with a 6-year, $90 million contract. And I hear you saying, preacher, that's cool in the game, that he got $90 million to set down, but your title was entitled The Three Little Pigs. Yeah. So preacher, can you show me how in the world you had to level up? How in the world does the three little pigs have to go with the text that you're preaching? I'm so glad that you asked that question, because here it is. Let me share this with you. Either you level up or your circumstances will make you wish that you had leveled up. Is there anybody in this building that can say, I'm like you, you just like me? The only thing that separates us is our decisions. Here it is. You got to understand this, the story of the three little pigs. The mother told them, she said this, she said, when you in fact go into the world, you got to understand this. Everybody else raised in my era, the 80s babies, you understand this story. She said, when you in fact go into the world, there are no free handouts in life. She said, everything that you do, we'll go back and read the story. The story said, she said, listen, everything that you do, make sure that you give it your best. And here it is, there's a danger, there's an indictment on the church. Why? Because there's so many young people and so many old people just giving God anything. Y'all not talking back to me. And it seems as if we give God anything and we want God to bless what we give him. So here it is, the three little pigs. She said, listen, whatever you do, make sure that you do it to the fullest. And here it is, as any 18-year-old child, they get happy of leaving the nest egg. And here it is, the three little pigs, they were just so happy to leave the house. And they left the house, and when they left, here it is, it was time for them to build their homes. It was time for them to build their future. It was time for them to build their spiritual lives. It was time for them to build their sanctuary. And the story suggests to us that the first little pig, y'all gonna mess this up, the first little pig, he wanted to do something that was so easy, so he built his house out of straw. I asked the author the critical question, Deaconess Kim, I said, why in the world are you building your house from straw? He said, I'm building my house from straw. It's because I want to have some time left over so I can play. So since he didn't take the time to build his house out of some substance that was sustaining him, watch this, the wolf came by and said, I huff and I puff and I blow your house down. He said, not by the hairs of my chin. It reminds me of some of the saints in the church. Why? Because we say, listen, we have victory over the enemy. The enemy saying, I'm going to huff and I'm going to puff and I'm going to blow your house down. But since I'm not in my word, since I'm scared to pray in front of my friends at school, the enemy huffs and he puffs and he blows. Y'all not talking back to me. He blows our little house down. And watch this, the enemy huffed and he puffed and he blew the little pig's house down and he ate the pig up. Second little pig, he thought that he was better than him. He said, listen, I'm going to style on him real fast. I got what you got, but watch this. The second little pig went a little further. Last, he built his house from wood. He said, listen, it's not going to take me that long. I mean, it's not as flimsy as strong, but it's a little bit more sturdier. But this is what he said. He said that the reason I'm building it off of wood is because you built yours off of straw, and I wanted something that was just a little bit better, but it gave me enough time so I can compare myself to you. And that's the danger when you go to school. You see that you got Vans on, that you see that you only got some Payless shoes on, and somebody else got some Jordan. Y'all not talking back to me. Somebody got some Adidas, and now the thing that you want to do is start to compare yourself with somebody else. So here it is. The enemy came along. He said, since you want to compare to your brother, he said, I'm a huff, I'm a puff, and I'm going to blow your little house down. He thought that he was feeling himself. He said, go ahead and do what you can. The enemy huffed and he puffed and he blew the house down and he ate the little pig up. The last little pig, he said something like this. I believe that he had my spirit. He said, I ain't worried about what you got on. I don't care what your parents was able to buy you. Y'all not talking back to me. I don't care if you got the new iPhone. I still got the iPhone 3. Y'all not talking back to me. Because I'm not trying to keep up with nobody. I'm trying to stay in my own. Because when I in fact stay in my own lane, there's nobody else I'm in comparison with. There's nobody else I'm trying to be in life. I'm not talking back to me. Can I drop a nugget in your spirit? There's so many people that's worried about other folks not liking you. Watch this. There's going to be people that's not going to like you, that's going to talk crazy about you. But can I give you a great revelation? Everybody ain't got good taste. So since everybody ain't got good taste, everybody don't have to like me. Why? Because there's a call on my life. So here it is, the three little pigs. The oldest pig, he said that I'm not going to compare my house to nobody else's house. And let me drop this in your spirit. Stop comparing your house to somebody else's house, because you seeing they drive in something nice, they live it in something nice. Can I drop a deposit in your slip real fast? I'm cool with living where I'm living. Why? Because my water bill, I can handle it. If I go to your house trying to keep up with what you got going on, I might can't afford it, and I might drown in the circumstance. Can I share something with you? Tell your neighbor, say, neighbor, stay in your Stay in your lane. So the last pig, he said, listen, I ain't playing no games. Why I'm not playing no games? Because I'm not trying to compare myself to nobody else. And while I'm not comparing myself to nobody else, the little pig, he said this, I'm not just going to rush through something that I got to live in. I'm not just going to rush something that I got to spend time in. I'm not just going to rush something when I've been afforded an opportunity to do something great in life. The last pig, while everybody else was out playing and his other brother was out comparing his life to somebody else, the last pig said, I'm going to spend time in areas of my life that needs the most attention. And as a result, the wolf wasn't able to blow his house down, nor was he able to eat the little pig. Why? Because when you invest time in leveling up, watch this, you won't have to play catch up. Okay, see, I thought I was going to hoop and holler. Give me a minute, I'm going to get to that. Just rock with your boy in a minute. How can you put the pieces together, preacher, when you're talking about the three little pigs and you're talking about it's time to level up? Come on, I need you to put the pieces together. When Peter asked Jesus, I'm in the text, I'm almost done. Here it is. When Peter asked Jesus to walk on the water, notice the text, he left everybody in the boat behind. Yeah, he left everybody in the boat behind. Can I share something with somebody that's under the sound of my voice? You have such a good heart. You have such a loving heart. You love everybody. You don't want nobody to feel bad about themselves. You don't want nobody to be left out. But can I drop something in your spirit? You need to stop feeling bad for everybody, because God said everybody can't go to the next level that I'm taking you. You're not talking back to me. Because if you in fact try to bring everybody with you because we was raised up in the community, because they did something for me, some people are only anointed to walk you to the door. Yeah, they're only anointed to walk you to the door. I've heard this cliche. Some people come in your life for a reason, for a season, and some for a lifetime. And the damaging part about it is we're taking seasonal folks into a lifetime of living. And when I take dead weight with me, watch this, not only am I limited in my resources, but it holds me back from getting to my destination. So I understand you have a good heart. And then here it is, you trying to make sure that everybody's all together, but God's saying the next level that I'm taking you to, watch this, there's going to be some kids in your school that's going to joke you, but can I share something with you? I'm going to give you something for free. I'm 35 years old, and I've discovered being cool in high school is not that important when you become grown. Wearing the new J's ain't that important when you got bills to pay. Watch this, my mom and my dad used to tell me this all the time. How many of y'all may know my mom and my daddy, when you were talking and grown folks were talking, they would tell you what? Stay in the child's place. I'm 35 years old. I'm ready to stay in the child's place. See, when you get grown, you will understand the things that was important back then. It's not that important. Now, watch this. When you get to the next level, so many people feel as if when I get to the next level, I don't want to feel alone. God said there's going to be some places that you go that you're going to have to go all by yourself. And you have to look at the definition. The definition to alone does not mean lonely. Okay, y'all listen up. Those child can catch this. The definition to alone does not mean lonely. God says this side of life that you're on, you're about to step into a life that you're going to be all by yourself. So here it is. Peter said, Jesus, can I walk on the water? He walked on the water and he left all of the other disciples behind in the boat. Here it is. Watch this. God said that you're about to step into a life. Watch this. That your old season is ending. What season are you talking about? That side of being depressed. That side that has nasty attitude. I'm not talking back to that side of wishing that you were somebody else. That side of you trying to stunt on the ground so folks can think that you got money, knowing that you don't have a dollar to your. Y'all not talking back to me. Knowing that you don't have a dollar to your name. Here it is. God said that season in your life is over. How do you know it's over? Because God is about to allow me to level up. Somebody scream out loud, I'm about to level up. So here it is. Here it is. And let me do a backtrack of the text, because oftentimes most people get excited when they hear that Jesus was walking on water. You gotta catch this. I'm excited, I'm amused, and I'm astounded that Jesus, this is gonna be the best shot, I promise you, set it up, that Jesus was walking on water. But it messed me up. Why? Because I'm expecting a Savior that can do all things but fail to do the things that's impossible. So when I'm expecting the Savior to do something impossible, I don't get so amazed at what he does. Why? Because I'm living in expectation that he's going to do the impossible. But can I give you your shout cue? It's not that the miracle was that he was walking on water, but the miracle was what he allowed Peter. Anybody in this building that can say with my nasty, trifling, nasty ways? Okay, nobody want to talk back to it, but is there anybody in this building that can say, if you look back 5 years ago, shucks, if you look back 2 months ago, you would say he shouldn't pray, he shouldn't sing, but God looked beyond my fault and he saw my need. So here it is. It's not the fact that what Jesus was walking on water, but it was the fact that what he allowed me to do. And it messed me up. Why? Because Peter said this, Dr. Scott, he said, if it's you, bid me. He said, bid me to come on the water. But this is what God is telling you right now. He said that if you are willing, I'm able. Let me talk to somebody on this side right here. God said, if you're willing, I'm able. Okay, y'all, not my crew. Let me holler at Kelly and the sister Kelly in the back. God said, if you're willing, I'm able. Somebody said, I'm trying to start a business. God said, if you're willing, I'm able. Is there anybody up in here that say, I want to be debt free by December 2019? God said, if you're willing, I'm able. So here's the next thing that God is showing us in the text. He said that being alone does not qualify you to be lonely. Because before the miracle happened was, you got to catch this, they were feeding 5,000. That was including the women and the children. So here it is. He said, I'm going to a place by myself. And Jesus made them get on the boat with just them. But the multitude was all around them. And I thought about something in the text, First Lady. Jesus did not get on the boat with them. But since Jesus is all-knowing, he knew that there was a storm on the way. And when you look at the text, it messed me up. Why? It's because they was not in the storm. The boat was in the storm. That's right. Y'all missed it. Okay, let me back that thing up real fast. They wasn't in the storm. They were were just in the boat that was in the storm, and they were just feeling the effects. Okay, let me put on some of my theology training. Watch this. There was another boat that was in Acts that got broken all to pieces while they were in the midst of a storm. But this boat in Matthew stayed together. Can I give you a reason to shout? Because you've been going through the worst hell that nobody has been going through. But God said the boat has still been kept together. Is there anybody in this building that say I can shout because back in Acts it got torn all to pieces? So Peter said, if it's you, bid me to come on the water. God said, I'm looking for just a few young people that can trust me on an if. Can you trust me on an if? I get it. Okay. Right, there's sometimes if somebody comes to you and say, let me get $50. And if I can pay you Friday, I'll pay you back. How many of us are on a loan on an if? But can I give you something to shout about? When God has an if in the equation, watch this, God can make everything work together for your good. Can you shout? Because the if that you're stepping on, God can turn that if into a will do. Watch this. In the text, Jesus says, Peter said, Jesus, if it's you, bid me to come on the water.
That's right.
And I told them on Thursday through the prayer call, when we look at the text, the Bible declares to us that Jesus' reply was yes. Come. I battled with that a little bit. Why? Because there's 12 people in the boat all together. But only somebody had the audacity to say, Jesus, let me walk on something that I can't walk on by myself. And he said, Jesus, if that's you, bid me to walk on the water. So he walked on the water. But that wasn't the shout part. The shout part was that when he in fact walked on the water, nobody else had enough faith to step on the water as well. And I know you're asking with your sanctified self, they wasn't informed to walk on the water. But you got to realize, you remember that when Lazarus was sick, not that Laz, but the Laz in the Bible, when Lazarus was sick unto death, Jesus said, Lazarus, get up. But in this text, he didn't say, Peter, come and walk on the water. Jesus said, yes, come. So in other words, that lets me know who's ever around when Jesus is giving instructions, it's all inclusive. Is there anybody up in here? Because the Bible declares to me, when God can make happen for you, he can do the same for me. And I asked a critical question. I said, Peter, why in the world did you have the audacity to ask Jesus, can you walk on something that's impossible? Let me break this thing down to the terminology that we use now. God, can I walk debt free? God, I'm walking in a rocky marriage, but God, can you heal my marriage? Y'all not talking back to me. God, I'm sick right now. I know what the doctor said, but God, can you heal my body? Peter, why in the world are you going to ask Jesus for something that's physically impossible? This is what Peter said. He said, all you have to do is have a conversation with the master. Can somebody scream out loud and say, have a conversation with the master? I'm done. Here it is. It's 12:40. I'm in my seat. Give me 2 seconds to close. Here it is. Last, put me in my key. I'm about to get out of here. Here it is. Stephanie, you may be seated. Steph, she's not here today. She's not feeling too well. And what happened was she came a while back. Deacon Jameson said, y'all married now. When the baby gonna come? I said, Deacon Jameson, the way my bank account set up, all my money's in the savings. It's gonna take about 4 days to transfer over to the checkings. I ain't got it. Okay. So we sat down and talked. She said, I want a baby. I said, they got plenty of them at Toys R Us. They got some on Amazon. There's somewhere around the church, baby. Go ahead and get your practice on. So, we got to the place. I'm talking about having a conversation with God.
Yes, that's all right.
So we got to the place. This true story. God knows true story, not made up. So here it is. I know Pastor Scott, I say, so all your other stories were made up. No, this one's not made up. This is a true story. So she said, okay. We sat down and talked. She said, I'm ready. I said, okay, we can try. It wasn't working. 2 months, 3 months, 4 months went by. Nothing happened. I'm cool in the game, you know. I'm good. Don't have to spend my money. He that finds a wife finds another bill. But here it is, watch this. So I said, we're trying. So then she went to the doctor. The doctor said, I don't know what's going on, but there's something on your uterus that's not allowing you to conceive. It's not going to happen. But what I can do is try these pills. Try these pills for 2 months and it might work. Yes. Got the pills. I told you to have a conversation with God, right? Yeah. Got the pills. Try them for 2 months. Nothing working. Try them for 3 months. Nothing working. Try for 4 months. Nothing working. The doctor said, listen, this is all I can do for you. Maybe the only option that you can do is just go ahead and adopt. Wife came to me, she said, you a preacher. And when you talk to God, God listens. I said, baby, you sure you want to do this? She said, come here. Cause I said, no, I do the leading around here. You know? I got enough feelings. I do the leading around here. Now where we going? And here, come on, let's go. Come on. She said, can you pray for the womb? I done asked for a baby. I done went to the doctors. They prescribed medicine. Didn't work. But you get prayers through. I prayed. I said, God, if it's your will, in Jesus' name, amen. So she booked a doctor's appointment. She said, I'm not feeling well. My stomach hurt a little bit. I said, you should have been eating a pork chop last night. I told you stop. I told you. She went to the doctor. Best shot you about to give. Went to the doctor. The doctor said, we got to do another test. Because I see something that I didn't see before. The doctor said, listen, this is what I want to share with you. I need you to sit down and hold your purse because you're about to get real happy. She said, why am I about to get happy? She said, because when I looked before, I didn't see nothing. But when I look this time, you're 2 months pregnant. Is there anybody in this building that can grab your neighbor by the hand and say, neighbor, through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus. Somebody said, through it all, I've learned to trust in God. Oh, shucks, now as my daddy would say, my new